think we're live. Everything sound okay? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Check 1, 3. I think we're going. I think we are live. Check 1, 2, 9, 3, 90210. Audio, video, good, good. What is up? Who do we got here? We got Bill, Dennis, Trolls, Matt, Rico B, SHK. We got Wendell. We got Ron, Rock and Rob, Ian's Guitar Shack, Scott, Yeti Mozzie, Herb Fireside Studio. Got Craig, Eric, what's up, speaker? Double R guitar, Matt, Strat CPO, Christy, Richard, Deanna, and of course Zach. Martian Mari, what's up, dude? I think I gotta put a flanger on, right? Was it? Something like that. I think you kind of need a flanger for that. A little bit. Right? Kind of a flanger thing. With the... Which at the time was like a cutting edge new. Right? In fact, if you notice, they run... I think it's the vocals, right? In some of the Kiss Alive... you can hear it. I think they run it through a flanger. New tech. In 1975. Oh, no, this Ibby is bright. Let's go to Bright Cam. Whoa. Oh, no, it's bright. It doubles as a, as a safety flare. It's a traffic cone. Yeah, Kiss Alive 2 is 77, but I think it's on the voice. I think it's on the vocals for Kiss Alive, and that's 75. Right, probably had one in the studio. Unless it's some sort of a, which it could be, some sort of a stereo sweep. I don't think it's a phaser, though. It sounds like a flanger. Kind of weird. Are there ads in the chat now? Oh my God. I'm that's not me, bro. I turn those freaking ads off. It's funny because Phil was on and someone was like, what the hell? Phil just went quiet and an ad popped up next to him that ran. That was the, we won't, remember I said they're like, we don't like block out your content. Yes, you do. You're just like a free throw, right? You make the basketball game go silent and you bring up your ad for friggin' DraftKings. That's exactly what it is. It's a side-by-side ad that they've been running for years now, but they're trying to get into the side-by-side shit. And someone's like, what the hell? What the hell was that? And I'm like, well, someone didn't turn off mid-rolls. That's what that is. People are like, I'm watching this live show. I keep getting ads. Well, someone didn't turn off mid-rolls. That's there you go. So yeah, they're putting them in the friggin' chat now. Again, they're very. I think YouTube is pretty much angry with me because I won't. Although they sent me a gift, which was kind of nice. But I won't run the mid rolls, and so they're like, "You son of a bitch! We'll put ads right in your goddamn chat. We'll put them right in the goddamn chat feed." It's like, okay, we are an ad platform. It's annoying. I remember, I'm so old on YouTube, I remember before they ran ads. Literally, there was a time when there were no ads as they were building their advertising system. And then just one day, like, ads showed up. I want to say it was, so I got on YouTube in 2009, but really 2010. And I want to say they showed up in like early 2012. It took a couple of years. There were no ads. And then all of a sudden they just started showing up. And now they're just like crazy. It had mid-rolls last time, but not yet. Not on my ads. I mean, not on my end. I turned that off. But I'll tell you this: when the video is over, there is a little window while they're, processing the video. That mid-rolls, I think, are turned on. And I have to go in there. Usually it takes about an hour to process. And I have to go in there because I'm always going in there and they're like, you can change these settings once the video is processed and everything's grayed out. But after about an hour, I go in there and they automatically check for me. They're so nice. Run mid-roll ads. And I have to uncheck it and save it. So if you are going to watch the repeat, give it a good hour after it ends before you watch, because if you don't, they're going to run mid-rolls. I can't control it. You need triple ad blockers. It's annoying. It is annoying. You pay for the premium. Yeah, that seems to be pretty common. What's up, Tactical? What's up, Tony? A proud SFB member to fight the adpocalypse. Thank you. I'm fighting the fight, bro. Exactly. Clammy agrees. Stay tuned for members only. Clammy the musical. I'm just saying. It could happen. No promises. You obviously forgot to enable mid-rolls. YouTube, probably. Yes, I forgot. Slipped my mind. Oh, thank you, Larry John. I'm trying. So here's my take on ads. I don't run ads I don't like. So when I'm on someone else's content and a mid-roll shows up, I'm like, what the frick? Right? It's annoying. It's like an abrupt stop. I am groomed to like accept the ad at the beginning, and occasionally in the ad at the end you can just jump away from. It's those mid-rolls that are just so annoying. I can't stand them. So I turn them off. I turn mid-rolls off. You sons of bitches. Is Twitch getting like... Yeah, see? Just a matter of time. Oh, we're living in the golden age of streaming. It's just a matter of time before you're still paying for it, and now they're adding ads. Remember that ad-free? There's no more ad-free any longer. Turns out it was just a way to build up numbers. To segregate content into silos. And then you have to be a paying customer for each silo if you want the content. Is the wizard neck too thin? Probably. I'm going to say yes. It's a thin neck. A very, very thin neck. I think for a lot of people, 17 mil, again, that Yamaha, which wasn't exactly a chunky neck, was 3.9 millimeters thicker. And I tell you, even a 1 millimeter change is super noticeable, you know. Anderson's did a video about that, where Lee and they were talking about some of the, they were doing like an end of the year video, like talking about things they've learned on YouTube, some like wrap up thing at the end of the year. And I remember Lee basically saying like, you know, I remember, he goes, one of the things that blew me away is we had two guitars, and one guitar felt so much larger, so much thicker, and when we put the calipers on it, the difference was 1 millimeter, and we couldn't believe it was just 1 millimeter. They felt like worlds apart. I'm like, I was, yes, yes, 1 mil, trust me, you'll feel it. You'll notice it. Thing is that it's kind of a wide neck. You notice that when you're playing it. This was like, that Yami was like 41 width, and this is 43, right? So almost 4 millimeters thinner, but it's 2 millimeters wider. So, you know, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Now you have to decide whether you like the cricket bat style, you know. You know who had a very similar neck to this was the, I think it was the Johnny Winter Thunderbird. It was a signature Gibson model. They happened to have one used at the Guitar Center I was stopping in like 10 years ago. Oh my God, that neck was so thin front to back, but really wide. I was like, wow, boy, that's a signature guitar all night. All right, because there's no way that the people going, oh no, we're not, this neck is too extreme, right? It would take a signature to get guitar to put out a neck that extreme. exactly. Start charging YouTube. Come on, man. I drunkenly bought a Fender Standard Acoustasonic Jazzmaster yesterday. Good on you. Nothing like drunk buying. I tell you, I bought all the parts for a new PC build. I'm trying to put together a PC for my daughter. And PC prices are shooting up. So there's a lot of, speculation out there that it's going to get worse before it gets better. And they're like, if you want to do a PC build, you should probably do it sooner rather than later, because we think the prices are going to, at the very least, temporarily rise, because the people who are doing AI are trying to find cheaper and cheaper ways to do it. And generally, it has been using extremely expensive proprietary chips from like NVIDIA. Very, very expensive stuff. And what they'd like to do is use more off-the-shelf components, because it's just a lot friggin' cheaper. A lot cheaper. So what they'd rather do is build kind of like they did with crypto. You just build like sort of a server farm. You most likely using Linux and setting up like a Linux fabric that just runs all these, and they can dole out the work, the different workstations. But you're using off-the-shelf components, and that is so much cheaper than proprietary out of NVIDIA, right? So because of that, there's actually been a run on storage and RAM. And storage and RAM prices, that's Sweetie. That is Sweetie. And storage and RAM prices are like doubling. So it's, if you're thinking about, building a PC, probably better sooner rather than later. So I ordered all the parts like 10 days ago, and they're still not here. We're still waiting on just one thing. The storage showed up today. That was one of the last things, and that's gone up since I bought it. And just the CPU, I got her an Intel, the same one I got, because I've just been loving it. It's through the roof, and she doesn't really do heavy gaming. She really is more like using like Blender and trying to do stuff for school. So like on a price, versus performance, that i7 blows away anything AMD is doing. I could get like a 3% boost in friggin' frame rates with a 3D chip from AMD. What's that? The X3D. But she doesn't really need that. She really needs more like the cores to do like I said, like Blender rendering. Blendering. I saw that EVH guitar sold for $2.7 million. Yeah, that was from an ad, right? That was an ad copy, right? EVH. Now, was it owned by a private owner, or was it owned by the EVH family? I didn't read the story. I just saw the headline. EVH guitar sold for over $2 million. Yeah, 2.7. How's your broken tat cat? She is doing much better. She is out and about a little bit more, still a little skittish, but her tail has been up. It's so funny, because I was going to take her. I said, if that tail doesn't get better by like Monday, I'm taking her on Monday. And sure enough, Monday came, and I saw her in the morning, and her tail was up. It was normal. And then later on, it was down. So I think she kind of sprained it. But I saw her today, and it was definitely up, and she's definitely out and about and around people a lot more. So I don't know what happened, but she seems to be on the mend, whatever it is, and getting better, sort of. She's not hiding like she was. So she certainly feel like last night when I went to bed, she was like up in the hallway. And so I think that was probably a good sign that she's feeling comfortable enough to sleep out in the middle of the hallway instead of like behind a freaking couch. Yeah, exactly. Like a DXJ Spark is 4,000, and then what Intel chip? What is it? It's the 280? No, 265K. 265K. It's the i7. The i9 isn't worth it. It's just not worth the extra money. The i7 is a much better value. You got to remember, I paid $40 less for my i7. They've already shot up $40 from 259 to 299. And as I checked it earlier today, they were 309, but they might be back down to 299. They can't ship it. Right now, they're talking like November 7th for a delivery date. They can't freaking get them. Yeah, I'm glad the cat's doing better, too. My wife was happy, that I didn't take her to the vet. Cause she's like, it's probably just sprained. I think she might be right. Did you use the 10% off at Guitar Center and go to Frankie? I was looking at a bunch of guitars, but I chickened out. I was like, you don't need a guitar. The last thing you friggin' need is another guitar. Don't do it. You get a flow of guitars like every friggin' week. What are you missing? Nothing. You're fine. So I talked myself out of it, but I was looking at a few different things. I was like, I don't know if we take the 10% off. Oh, that's a pretty good price. Like, that's easy. Oh, an extra 10%? Oh, no, yeah, I'd be interested. No, what? Huh? But I had to say, no. You know. Isn't Intel burning a hole in the motherboard? Dude, you're thinking of AMD. Intel's run a lot cooler. I haven't heard that. Mine's running freaking great. I want to check out that Amiga release. Are you thinking of the C64? They just came out with a C64 release. I think they're going to do one with a full keyboard, too. The new one is black, and then I forget it's like a black edition. Looks pretty cool, but it has a non-working keyboard. And I think they were working on one with actually a working keyboard, but keyboards are so cheap. Just plug a USB keyboard in it. I know everyone needs a guitar. Buddy's doing good. He's losing weight, though, man. That cat's thin. I'm worried he's got the thyroid disease. Something's up. You know. What motherboard? I use different brands, but lately I've been using more MSI. So I've been using this MSI. Of course, you got to get the best chipset, though. I never cheap out on the chipsets. You know, so I'm not going to get a B series. I got what is it? This X series, Z series, whatever the Intel. I think it's Z for Intel, right? It's like the Z800 series. That's pretty good. MSI. Yeah, new Amiga's coming out, really. Yeah. I tell you, you can do a lot with the emulation. And once you get sort of like an emulation station going, if you're just into gaming, you can do that actually pretty easily now. It's pretty, with Linux, it's pretty good. You run a lightweight Linux shell, and then and you can do it in Windows too. Keep saying I have enough guitars in this, that voice it says, but you don't have that guitar. If I really want that John Mayer sound, don't I kind of have to get a John Mayer guitar? I mean, don't I? I mean, could I ever do a true tribute to Ace Frehley without owning an Ace Frehley-like guitar? No. I talk yourself, all kinds of stuff, Oh, yeah, they're right. There was an overstock on memory, so prices were down. I might tell you, I put together my base system for like $550, and when I was done, my system was like $600 or $700. It's easily a good $200 more for her set. It's actually a lot more, but I added in a 5060 because she's going to need at least a basic, video card. And a lot of the stuff is only CUDA Core Central, so it's like I wasn't going to go outside of NVIDIA and have her try to use, it's probably going to be like OpenGL. But it's like CUDA is the one that's really supported. So I got a 5060. And I didn't even get the 16 gig because, like I said, she's not really gaming. It's, it's really more like a productivity. She light gaming. Am I out of tune? LOE. Sounds pretty good. You have Radeon graphics, yeah. I just think that a lot of her software is just sort of like what I'm running right now. This OBS. OBS doesn't work with AMD as far as I know. Maybe they've updated it, maybe it does now. But I always remember OBS only working with Intel using QuickSync or NVIDIA using CUDA Core. And you could say run all the processing through that. When I don't do that, when I don't use hardware and I run it through the computer, you can hear the computer through my guitar like tick, 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 tick. It gets real loud. When I offload it to the hardware, silent. So there's some benefits. And also when you render using your video card, like I have, is that Handbrake, right? And you're doing conversions. Sometimes you do a conversion, you use the CPU. You're getting, whatever, 20, 25 frames a second. I switch it to like my pretty old now NVIDIA, the 3080. I'm getting like 790 to 850 frames a second. That's the kind of boost you're looking at. It's like it's insane the difference between the two, because that's all that GPU does, right? Just calculate those frames and blurp them out. Yeah, ATI, man. Radeon is great in Windows and Linux, not so much. That's the other thing. I think NVIDIA probably just has more alternate platform support, right? So it doesn't... Once you see the difference between hardware rendered and software rendered, you're never going back to software rendered. Hardware rendered is just so much faster. It's like night and day. So there was the Ace Frehley funeral this week. I caught a little blurb about it. Apparently, Paul, Gene, and Peter were all there. It was not a public thing. It was a private affair with friends and family. And I heard it all went quite well. There were no fistfights in the parking lot, which is always a good thing. Anyone else been to a wedding where fistfights broken out? No, just me? Stay classy. Yeah, the Voodoo, 3D effects. Yeah, the Voodoo, right? Voodoo Labs, 3D effects card. It was crazy. I'm thinking I should get a PC versus a laptop. I really need to bring it out. I just went through this with Bobby, and from the Guitar Fret Zone. He was asking me, like Speaker did, like, what do you think about laptops? I helped Speaker, pick out a laptop. And he came to me and was like, oh, you know what? I need a laptop. And his laptop was overheating. And I said, dude, you should just let me build you a PC. And when he finally got that PC, he was like, dude, this is like so much faster. He goes, I used to copy these files over. He goes, and I plugged it in. He goes, they went so fast. It was like unbelievable. I said, yeah, because that, they kind of underclock those laptops a little bit, the Save-On battery. They can only really go to top speed for like 5 seconds, and they start overheating, and then they have to thermal throttle back down again. I have an HP in the attic that thermal throttles at at a blink of an eye. It's thermal throttling, but it's still overall pretty fast, compared to like something from like 10 years ago. But, they're sort of underpowered relative to desktop. You get a desktop going with a, big fat heatsink on it, or, a liquid AIO. It's crazy. Yeah, generally the fist fights are reserved for the reception. Exactly. Yeah, not at a wedding. No, that would be uncouth. No, we're talking about the reception. Oh, thank you, Felix. Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up, John? Good to see you, man. Hey, John, are you going to the, you going out to, is it Natick? Is it out in Natick tomorrow? Is it going to be a guitar show? I've been hearing murmurs about it. It's going to be a nice day. I did the leaves yesterday and blew them up into piles, raked the piles into barrels, dumped the barrels into the back of the trailer, filled the trailer. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's a lot of leaves. And dumped the trailer this morning, waited in a line to get in the friggin' dump because people are up early, and 8 o'clock is kind of late for them. So I got up there and dumped out the trailer, and God, I love that trailer. I hated the trailer because it cost me so much time and energy and, grief to get it, going. But man, that thing just worked so freaking great. Hey, what's up, Super Lead? PC's also good in colder months. If you use it for gaming, yeah, it'll heat your room by 10, 20 degrees. That is not that far off, dude. In fact, sometimes, and I'm not even kidding right now, if I go up to the attic and it's like a little, like, really cold up there, I will turn on, we have a projector up there. I'll turn the projector on for a few minutes, and I'll run the burn-in on my PC, which cranks the fans up, and it cranks everything up because it's, it's going from 19C. It's like so friggin' cold. And then it quickly ramps up to 60, 65C. And so it stays around there. I can't really get it past that. But you can feel the warm air coming off of it. Acts like a little heater. Probably very, very inefficient. Oh, not even. Oh, it's already loaded up. I was watching them fall today. I was like, well, that was fast. My yard was clear for like an hour. And we're getting a friggin' nor'easter this week. We're getting a big storm that might last into Friday, which is Halloween. So the poor kids, they might not really have a decent Halloween this year. And there's been some heartbreaking, and I'm not even kidding, there's been like heartbreaking deaths on like windy Halloweens where tree branches have fallen and like literally killed kids. It is heartbreaking. So it's like it's like you want to send your kids out, but it can literally be, you think everything will be fine, and we actually know someone we remember that Halloween. It was like super windy, and this like tree, I don't know if the tree fell over, a branch fell and like literally killed their kid, and we were like, we just heartbreaking, just stunning. And I always felt bad for that dude, because every Halloween rolls around, it's just a reminder of a horrific event. Just horrible. You need the EVH paint job, the trailer. Well, I thought about that, but people swear to me it'll get stolen. They're like, don't do it. You're just going to make it attractive for thieves. It's going to look too cool. They're like, and right now I just have it painted flat black, and it kind of blends in. You can't even really see it. I did see that June Lockhart passed away at 100. That is amazing. I loved, no, it is. It's absolutely heartbreaking. It just, and again, every year when that rolls around, you can't help but think of him. My kids were pretty little when that happened. So that was probably 2007, 2008, 2009, something like that. In that area, I'd have to go back and look. I'm sure it was in the news. What are your thoughts on BC Rich? Just thinking about getting a white Ironbird, but on the fence. The problem with BC Rich is, they've just been owned by so many people, so many companies. It just feels like they've been batted around. First, it was like super expensive custom shop. Then, like, everything was getting like made in, I forget if it was Japan or Korea, but I thought it was Korea, right? With all the stuff starting around 89 or 90. 88, 89, 90. There was like a big shift. You could get all of a sudden these low-cost BC Rich. They weren't like thousands of dollars like they were. And then that gets batted around, and then they're back with this, and they're not. And then it's like, and now it's owned by even another guy. Right? It feels like it's been moved around so many times. It's just, that if there's one brand, you kind of need to try the guitar. It's BC Rich. I try one out and just make sure you dig it. If there's any stock in any stores. I think it's, yeah. Yeah, I was listening back to that first album. It's so good. It's like, what's up, Phil? Yeah. Well, you learn 2 Minutes to Midnight by Maiden. Yeah, great blast to play. That's the fun. Learning new tunes, A lot of these tunes I learned a long time ago, and you just have to kind of relearn them again. You forget because it's so freaking long. There was such an aceism. Again, first time in the Shock Me solo, first time I ever heard pinch harmonics. That I noticed it, Guess we fretted an 87 Warlock. Nice. Gave it to your son, sure. Yeah, it didn't take long for the Back to the Future guitars to sell out, right? My God. But I heard they didn't make that many. So, of course, they were going to sell. I mean, I think dealers only got one. And they sold pretty quick. Why not make a whole bunch of them? And you can use the proceeds to fund, like, the Michael J. Fox Parkinson's Foundation. There seemed to be a lot of demand for the product. Why not just cash that shit out and send the profits to, like, a Michael J. Fox, his project there, his foundation. It's a freaking win-win. No? Just one? Can't donate that much money? I tell you, Neil Schon, I'd love to. He had his Schon guitars, which I thought were made by Jackson, right? Wouldn't mind. You see those out there once in a while. Pretty rare, the Schon guitars. I know they did. They donated a portion to the foundation, but why limit it to just so few guitars? Why not put out, 1,000 times that and send them 1,000 times the friggin' money? They're clearly, so many people were so disappointed that they couldn't get one. I think there was demand out there for it. It's like, why not meet demand and then just cash out and send the money to the foundation? It's like, it seems like something easy to do. Yeah, exactly. There was only right. There was only 1,000 of them made, and I think the Gibson one, there was even a lot fewer. The Gibson one was $20,000, so I understand. Or what was it? It was like 20 grand? Or 8 grand? No, I thought it was like 20 grand. Like super expensive, collectible. I don't know. You tack $100 on the cost of the friggin' Epi one for charity, and and the sky's the limit. As many as you can sell, but they didn't want to do it. Yeah, Norm's rare guitars only got one Epiphone. They didn't even get the Gibson, right? Again, it feels like an opportunity lost. I think did they not think it was going to be a big seller? Maybe their focus groups were telling them it wasn't going to sell that well, and so they wanted to keep it limited, but I don't know. If it's for charity, why not shoot the moon? No? I don't know. Was it 18? Yeah, I thought it was 18. I thought it was like 20 grand. I thought it was up there. Yeah, I know. They're not, not cheap. So we'll see what's up with this freaking storm this week. Could be, it depends on the track, whether we're going to be more windy or more rainy. To be honest, I'd rather take the wind than the rain. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to have to start getting serious down here about, flood protection. Yeah, $20K for the Gibson, $1K for the Epi. $1,985 made of the Epi, sure. I feel like you could have put like a 0 at the end of that, and they would have done just fine. But I understand. Okay, no, it makes sense. It does. It does seem like it was a huge success, right? I mean, they sold out pretty quickly, like within a day. A very, very successful model. Good coffee. Both windy and rainy up there, yeah. Oh, then it's good. I mean, that's such an ace, You're doing that sort of like chicken. Such an ace thing, an aceism. How's my voice doing? I feel like, am I all right here? Check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, there we go. Thought it sounded a tiny bit off. Yeah, I probably just didn't want to flood the market. Maybe that is a little too loud. Hold on. Tiny bit. Right there. A little better. There we go. Sure. So we'll see. I probably have to go up out on the front porch roof with the blower and blow the gutters out. That's always fun. That's always fun. No, I think it looks greenish too. And you know how I know it's a little greenish is I put it under a black light and it glows more green. I think the fluorescent is almost like a greenish hue. Let me see if I can find. I don't know if a picture made it up to the internet. Oh, yeah. There it is. Yeah. Now, I don't know if this is because it's mixed with the, with the, with the black light, right? Because does yellow and blue make green? Right? Because it's sort of a black light, which is sort of like a purple. But that's what it looked like under a black light. You can see the black light reflection on the inlays. That's popping green to me, not yellow. I'll have to get it next to. I have an original RG 550 in Desert Sun Yellow, and it is fluorescent. It glows. Got to put these next to each other because these are both supposed to both be Desert Sun Yellow, but I feel like this has definitely more of a green hue, and certainly under the black light it looks more green. So putting them next to each other on a stand and getting the black light going, probably a good way to see what the difference is between 1990 and 2025. And of course, this thing lights up like a freaking Christmas tree under a black light. It glows like a lot of the Ibanez colors glow. Oh, one right there. You put that under a black light, and it's full on glow time. It's like a black light poster. Exactly, none more graded. Yeah, but you can almost see a little greenish hue to it. It has a pinkish hue. It has a greenish hue. Right? A little bit. No, a little bit. Yeah, A. It's gloss. It's full-on gloss. Yeah, I know, it's kind of tough to see the gloss. But there you go. That's how you see gloss. You just got to block that light a little bit. It's so glossy. I hope they make an RG 562, but I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna make. I think they made the 460 and called it a day. You made the 570. You made the 550. You can't make the 560? No? Nothing? Come on. Love the Genesis series. Have the two of the 550s, nice, and a 565, sure. Again, they do the 565. You can't do a 560? No? No love for the 560? It was a very popular guitar. I'm just saying. We sold a lot of them. Nah, nothing. 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 Oh, let me see if I got a good shot of it here. Yeah, probably right there. Right here. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, probably right there. So this showed up the other day. The Tonex from the people over at IK Multimedia. They just sent it over as a welcome to the family gift. But they have something coming up soon that's either hardware or software related, Tonex or not Tonex related. We don't really know yet, but they want me to be part of the next launch. And I said, sure. And I saw a box out there. I opened it up. They sent me a Tonex, but it's not. This isn't it. That pedal's out and it's been out. It's something different. Oh, cat butt. I also have a Coral Mist. Nice, the Coral Mist, yeah. 9550 near mint condition. Love that one. Great flame neck. You know, that it was hit or miss, but a lot of them had flame necks. It just depended on the one you got. You know, probably, I don't know, 1 out of 50. Did they send you a brown sound pack to go with it? They did. They did. They sent me all the brown sound packs. So that's nice. I haven't loaded it yet. Oh, you know, I didn't show you this yet. I got a gift from freaking YouTube. I saw that. I was like, what the hell is this? I thought it was, did I hit 100,000 subs? They're like, no. Yeah, dream on, kid. I was like, oh. They sent me this little gift. So, this, how lovely. And it is a commemorative. It's got some crap on it. It's a crapper. It's a clapper. This decorative clapper, suitable for framing. Nice. And it's a real working clapper. And scene. Alright, let me see if I can get the tube back in the toothpaste here. There we go. And it comes with a bunch of crap on top. Ugh. Let me just get it back in here, because if I take it out, I'm just going to destroy it. Right there, a little something from the robots over at YouTube. It's an ad, exactly. It's an ad. They got it. They got me to show an ad. You sons of bitches, they're always one step ahead. Exactly. It includes instructions for a neighboring mid-rolls. I just had to sign a statement basically saying that they could run mid-rolls, and I couldn't object. And we'll send you this free clapper, kid. Oh. Slate, and that's a wrap. Exactly, I'll show them. Yeah, I'll show them. We were just talking about the kick-ass Back to the Future. Yes, is it a 355 or is it 345? You find out it's like some oddball model. And we were just saying that they sold out so quickly. It was like you probably could have made more. They probably would have sold. Demand was so freaking high. From now on, ES345, yeah. Have to start every show with the clapper. Clap on. That's how I'll do it. I go, clap on, clap off. So for that, you kind of have to do it here. You can't do it here. Here it's dropping the G, goes out of tune. You have to do it here. And then it works. Because you can bend it up. You had a contract for 1985, so kudos to those who got one. Yeah, no, it was a fast seller. Could put a 0 on the end of that. You probably would have sold out. 19,850. Boom. Exactly. Clap here. Clap, gone. Penicillin. You know that sound you've been looking for? So it's like two different riffs. The first one is, and then the second one is. Yeah, I watched the World Series last night for a little bit. I think I tuned in, and Toronto was losing, I think, 0-2. And then it was tied up 2-2. And then Toronto went up 4-2. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I turned away and I looked back and it was like 11-2. I was like, wait, what? Or like 11-4. I was like, wait, what? Did I fall asleep? What the hell happened? There was a lot of action very quick that I just didn't, and luckily the TV, I could just rewind the live TV. What the hell did I miss? Oh, wow, there's a grand slam. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. I have not listened to the Dress to Kill 50th box set. But now that... So Kiss doesn't own their catalog anymore, right? So I'm sure whoever owns it now, it's a Swedish company, right? The same people that bought ABBA. I mean, I'm sure they could just repurpose and rebox like all of their content with new collectible sets. You know, do some crazy big box set. For $50,000, Gene will personally deliver it. The only reason why I would root for Toronto is because the Dodgers won it last year, right? Am I wrong? Didn't the Dodgers just win it? So I'm always for mixing it up. Yeah, Kiss sold everything, right? They sold their... So, did you see they did the Kiss... I don't know if it's happened yet, but they're doing the Kiss Cruise Landlocked Edition. They're not getting a ship. They're not renting a cruise ship. They're basically doing a Vegas residency, and it's they're all what they would call unmasked versions. There's an acoustic set and an electric set, and of course they're not doing any of the costumes and gear because I don't think they'd have to license it. They don't own it. They sold it. So they're doing everything is an unmasked version. And I don't know if it's happened yet or if it's happening soon, but they basically sold a non-cruise cruise. Does that have a wide neck? You know what? It is a little. It's a 43 mil neck, 43 millimeter. You know, I think I like I said, that Yamaha was a 41, and most, you know, are R2, which is a 42 on the Floyd Rose. So the 43 does feel a little wide. Now a little bit, and of course it always feels wide because it's so freaking thin. It's such a thin neck. I don't think they have to pay to play their songs. You can always go out and do covers, right? I don't think they have to. I don't think they have to license it. But right, they're probably allowed to do it. Landlocked cruise seemed to be an oxymoron. Yeah, well, you know, it's Kiss. We're doing a cruise on a ship. No, at a hotel. I was at a cruise. Look, it's a fucking cruise, okay? It's a landlocked cruise. Why do you have to ruin everything? Okay. And how much are you charging for this crew? Good thing you asked. It starts at $1,400. Without the cost of tickets, without the cost of food, and the sky's the limit. Do you want to be up on the Lido deck? Yeah, pictures of water everywhere. Everybody gets a complimentary bottle of water. See, now you're on a cruise. How much did Kiss sell it all for? You know, I don't know. Someone could probably find out, but you know, they've been. I forget what the Dylan catalog went for, but Dylan's catalog is older, so fewer years left on before it becomes public domain. I don't know, but was it 300 million or 100 million, or I gotta think it's at least 100 million, because the imagery of the four characters goes beyond, right? It goes to like so much merch. 350 mil or 250 million? Well, that's a big 350 million. I thought I heard 300 million too. 350? Just looked it up. 300 million. Yeah, see, I thought it was around 300 million, but then there's the whole euro to dollar conversion. Oh, really? Eric Singer hasn't signed on for the landlocked cruise? Oh, man. Saw a video of Paul told Howie 350 million. Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, Paul's one to pump numbers up. Actually, Gene's does the same thing. Sort of pump the numbers up. Yeah, right, exactly. Maybe you'd rather go to Vegas rather than an actual cruise because it's a floating petri dish. I'm with you, man. Freaking cruises are gross. Oh, I think, no, that this Kiss cruise, Terry, I think was, I think this was scheduled long before Ace passed away. I remember seeing this. I think they were booking this back in the spring for the fall, right? They gave it months in advance. And remember, Ace didn't die from some chronic illness. He slipped and fell and just never recovered from his injury, from a head injury. Which at someone in their 70s, that's actually probably more common than you think. You know, who was it? Was it Bob Saget that like they think he fell in the bathroom and hit his head, and rather than like go to the doctors, he like laid down, which is like the worst thing to do with a head injury, is to like lay down and go to sleep. And yeah, he you know, my cat. We did not take her to the vet. Because on that Monday when we went to take her to the vet, her tail was actually up. It wasn't down like it was, and it didn't look as bad as it had. So I said, we'll give it a little longer. And she's been coming out of hiding more and more. And she's been around, and like I was saying, like last couple of nights, she slept out in the middle of the floor up in the hallway, which she hadn't been doing. So she definitely seems to be on the mend. Like I saw her today, it was up and it was moving around. And I said, well, it looks like she probably sprained it or somehow damaged it. But, yeah, right. Yeah, Bob Saget. It's how my grandfather died. He was 86. He slipped on ice, and yeah, he lived in Canada. One of the great hazards of living in Canada is slipping and falling on ice. Right? Because you just have an extended winter. And it's exactly what happened. He slipped on a staircase. Yeah, no, they hide when they're feeling vulnerable. And she was definitely hiding. And, but she seems to be, back out again. Though she's been running away from me. I think she senses I want to take her to the vet. Like, you're not taking me to the vet. There's the rumors about Gene getting into an accident. No, I doubt that's true. That sounds like a made up story. Well, Buddy goes for his annual in like another week. We have 2 more cats to go. We have Sweetie and Buddy both have to go for their annual. We already took Henri and we already took Cutie. They already had their annual. Well, we space them out a little bit, to different pay periods. So, freaking croak you. What do we got? Drama. That's some serious. The cat did piss because she kind of sprayed a little bit because we had a cat at the window. That little cat-frontation. Oh, I heard it. Did you guys hear that? Right? That's the cry of get the hell out of here. Yeah. Oh no. You coming down? Oh, it's stressful. It's not easy being a cat. Yeah. Oh no, I totally heard. I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, that sounds like Henri one time. I mean, straight out of a horror movie. We have these, you can see them right there. We have curtains on the window. The middle curtain, the other 2 curtains are stapled down so they don't come up. The middle curtain is not. It's only stapled at the top, so we can lift the curtain up and they can look out the window, especially in the winter or in the summer when we have the window closed because we have the air conditioning on, the heat on, it's too cold or it's too hot. We'll lift up that middle curtain so they can look out the window. And she pulled that curtain back, and there was a cat on the other side, and she freaked out, like, so startled. I heard her paw, like, I'm surprised she didn't break the glass, slam off the freaking glass, like, boom, wah! Like, I was like, whoa. That was Henri, but that was Sweetie. And someone just showed up at the window. The other day, it was, I don't know, this past week, one of the days, I think Sweetie was either down here on top of this amp, or she was over here, like on this like little cat tower here that they use as a bridge to get over there. And I saw a cat walk by the front of the window, and it had a dead chipmunk in its mouth. And I was like, oh, I think he's coming by to taunt you. Totally heard it. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, she was like freaking losing her mind. So no, Henri, my God, Henri that night, she was like, what? Her tail was so poofed out like a goddamn coyote. I'm like, will you calm down over there? Man, little drama. No, I think she swatted at but I have chicken wire up. And I'm glad I do, because that screen is just not strong enough. The chicken wire is plenty strong. And they're not getting through the chicken wire. Yeah, no, she was... They're not friendly with other cats. They barely tolerate each other. Oh, she's back for more. Where the hell is that cat? Go get it. Go get it, sweetie. That's a cookie dough cow cat, a.k.a. Turtleback, a.k.a. Sweetie. Sweetie's a bit of a misnomer. Yeah, two cats in one. Normal and then a little crazy. Like some girlfriends. Yeah, visiting cats coming by and taunting them. Well, she's back, so she's like, I'm not going to get scared at it. She probably just went up and had a little food. Or maybe went around the corner and took care of business. She's like, that reminds me, I kind of have to pee. Crazy. Anywho, little excitement tonight. Have a guitar, love everything about it. It doesn't have a forearm contour to it if I should sell it. You know what? The saying goes, there's plenty of fish in the sea. You know, if there's something about it that's really bothering you, you know, you might be able to find something very similar to it, but it has that one feature you want, like the forearm cut. And I'd look around. There's a lot of guitars out there. There's a ton of guitars. Well, back down. Is she back down? She's leaving. Back down here. Well, I'm going to leave for a little bit. does the Ibanez feel like an RG550? The neck dimensions are pretty much identical. If you look at the RG550 and this in terms of thickness and dimensions, it's the same. So yeah, it pretty much feels like that. Have a good one, Sammy. Yeah, if you went up and you looked at the neck dimensions on this, and then you go over to the RG550, and you look at those neck dimensions on the Ibanez website, they are identical. Oh, man. Oh. There it is. They should have used this in the Blues Brothers movie. Are modeling amps like Line 6 or Axe-Fx any good? Well, certainly Axe-Fx is probably going to be better than a straight Line 6 amp until you get to something like the Helix, right? It's really the Helix that's going to be up in like that fractal territory for, for audio quality. I think they sound good. I think there's a movement towards them because they're just consistent and reliable and just lightweight. They're easy to carry around. So there's been a move from lugging around a bunch of tube amps to, going through, I think, Axe-Fx and Kempers and a Helix. When I first saw Steel Panther, Satchel had an EVH, like a white half stack on the stage, and that was mic'd up and he was going through. The second time I saw him, he still had that white half stack, but they had taken it off the stage. He had it off to the side of the stage. I could see it. And it was facing out towards the stage, and they had it mic'd up, and so he could use that as kind of like a little monitor or whatever. But it was off to the side of the stage. The third time I saw him, there was no amp to be found. I swear to God, he's going through an Axe-Fx. And it was straight up. This is a proper jazz guitar. Let me just hold on. We'll go here. Oh, she's addicted. She's like, maybe if I go up this way, I won't walk in that pee again. Yeah. Gotta change position. Doing well, Monty. exactly if Steve Cropper was still alive, he'd probably be playing an Ibanez 540 P3. Probably. Listen, we can only speculate. No, Reissie's on a mission. I shot I shot Monday's video today. I was up so early because I had to go to the dump. And then a lot of people are out of the house. It was nice and quiet. I said, oh, you know what? Just shoot the video right now. Very different guitar, though. My God, could not be more different than this friggin' guitar this week. Wow. We're switching it up. And now for something completely different. I keep reaching for the tone knob, and there's no tone knob on this. Well, I think the person for this model is someone who's a Marty Friedman fan. Remembers these when they were a kid. You know, like all reissues, you know, it's a nostalgia grab. Don't like the reverse headstock? No. They didn't do a ton. I think the RG, well, the 565 was a reverse headstock, wasn't it, in 91? They started to do a few more of the reverse headstocks. I think. Right, well, with the lower bout, right, it almost looks like it's upside down, right? Should be like that. Right, now the top bout's bigger than the bottom bout. The headstock's the right direction. Right, it's like flipped upside down. Yeah, Skolnick. guess Russia's adding more dates. Their dates have been selling out. Yeah, Marty was in the catalog. You know, I couldn't remember if it was Marty Friedman or that other guy around that time. You know, that guy always playing guitar, him. But it was Marty Friedman. I think if you go to put one there and then like that. So I guess that would have been probably the 1990 Mini. Or it could have been the 89. I don't think they had an 89 catalog. It's weird like that. Oh, yeah. Right there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not Marty Friedman. Alex Skolnick. I get those two mixed up. This guy, Skolnick. That's who I'm thinking of. I always get those two screwed up. Kind of the same era. Yeah, Alex Skolnick from Testament. I think, who's Marty been with? Jackson? I think Friedman's with Jackson, right? Or has been for a while. Here's the OG, the 540p. Now you notice this is the American one, so it doesn't have a pick guard, right? There's no pick guard on it, and it only has 22 frets. If you look at the European catalog, it has a pick guard and there's 24 frets. So it just depended on the market you were in. Europe and Japan, 24 frets and a pick guard. USA, which this is it. This is the USA catalog. 22 frets, and also they was available in a humbucker. But this is really it right here. The PSH instead of the PHH. Yeah, right there. Yeah, Alex is with ESP, and Marty's with Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, Marty and Jason in Cacophony. Who's drumming for them? It's this woman, she's like in her 40s. But I guess she's got quite a resume. And she's got the chops. And it was someone I think that they had worked with before. So they sort of knew her, right? Familiar company. I can't think of her name, but she's, from everything I've heard, when people heard the name, people that know her, know her work, were like, good choice. Yeah, sure. Yeah, perfect. You saw Visatch last year, and Skolnick was in the audience, sure. Yeah, Anika, is it Niles? No, the ticket prices are no joke. People were complaining. I had a friend of mine who went up there to buy tickets, and I think the cheapest ticket was like 300 and something bucks. And he was like, can't do it. You can thank the Eagles for that. They figured out that people were scalping their reunion tour, and they were charging $150 a ticket, and the scalpers were getting $500 a ticket, and they were like, "Why aren't we charging $500 a ticket?" And they invented the golden circle, and the ticket prices, instead of being uniform across the floor, they had different ticket prices depending on where you were seated. Kind of what sports had done for many years, but wasn't really done in concerts. No, ticket prices are insane. I think if you were a family of 4, and you wanted to go to a Taylor Swift concert, you're probably looking at a couple of grand, and that's with face value tickets. Couple of G's. So, Bon Jovi was in the news this week. He's been out making the rounds. I forget if he's got a new book out or something's up, but he's talking about he had the vocal surgery and the recovery, and he said he thinks he's going to go and try. He had an implant put in his throat to try and save his voice. So, they were going for thousands, but you got to I'm not talking about scalping prices. I'm talking even if you just paid face value, forget scalpers, because scalpers they shoot the moon. It's it goes off to the highest bidder. Sure. I mean, the scalpers are going to cost you 10 G's. 2,500 a friggin' ticket. Yeah, one seat, 2,800. Sure. Oh yeah, so Skolnick with a trio. Yeah. Did Klaus Meine have some sort of surgical implants done? Yeah, some sort of an implant, I think, to support, because he said one side of it, your vocal cords, there's 2 muscles, one on each side. And I guess one side was fine, and the other side had really sort of broken down. And what happens is the side that isn't broken down, sort of tries to do too much, which it hastens its breaking down. So he had to stop and have the surgery done, and he's hoping it's going to be all right. But who knows how this is? You hope for the best, but I'd expect the worst. It's going to be crazy. Sometimes they have big ass screens. You can see the whole stage. I'm I can literally do this at home. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's the prices are so freaking high. And, and people are obnoxious. I think when you're younger, you tolerate it. But when you get older and you're paying crazy money and the people behind you or next to you won't shut up, and you're it's literally, you're so loud because you're trying to talk over the music, right? To talk to your friend. It's you could have this conversation at any bar. What are you doing in the middle of the floor at a friggin' concert going, so I says to her, no, I'm not doing that. It's what are you talking about? Wait, you really need to have this conversation right here? But that's what you get at shows, man. When I was younger, that rolls right off you. When you get older, you're oh, will you just shut up? You can't take it. Yeah, plus tickets used to be affordable. When I saw Rush, we almost lost our minds because the Rush tickets were $16 a ticket. $16. I was what? We just paid, what? We just paid $14 for AC/DC tickets. What the hell is this? $16? My God. Like losing my mind. Yeah, and everyone's got their phone up in front of them anyway. Yeah, so Phil X got me backstage at a Bon Jovi concert, and he said, "Listen, I can get you backstage, but I can't get you in the house." He goes, "So you're gonna have to like just buy the cheapest ticket just so you can get in the door." The cheapest ticket, and again, to the venue's, to Bon Jovi's credit, was $15. 15. That's pretty cheap, right? It was $15 for the ticket, but the fees for the ticket, I didn't get them delivered. I walked up to the box office and bought the ticket. The face value of the ticket was $15, and it was behind the stage, which I didn't care about. I wasn't really there for the show. I was there to see Phil X and hang out backstage for a few minutes before they took the stage, and then I pretty much left. I left about halfway through the Bon Jovi concert. Because I had a train to catch. But yeah, the face value was $15, and the fees were $30. And so the price of the ticket at the ticket gate, like right there at the garden, you're right up there, was $45. My $15 ticket cost me $45. I was like, that's feels like a bit of a. What are the fees based on? Can't be a percentage. It's like you're charging me a friggin'. She's sniffing around because she smells the pee. Although I did blot it up, and it wasn't a lot. It was just like she literally scared the piss out of her. Yeah, and again, in a stadium show, what a goddamn nightmare getting in and out. All those freaking people. It's a freaking nightmare. Because the last Bon Jovi tour sucked other than Phil. And you know what? I thought Shank sounded really good. They both had really good guitar tone. The guitar tone, I tell you. I was impressed with how the guitars, how the whole everything just sounded in the room. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, $30 to hand it to me. That's the print it out and hand it to you fee. It's a convenience. Exactly. It's the fee charging fee. They're like, are you paying cash? I can pay cash. Well, there's a fee for paying cash. You want me to pay in a card? Yeah, there's a fee for paying in the card too. Well, how much is the fee? It's the same fee. There's a fee. Pantera for $45 at the Palladium. Man, there's a venue, huh? Worcester. Chaos in the best way, mid-90s. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. I saw Iron Maiden at the Cape Cod Coliseum. Those tickets were like $20. You know? Like $15, $20. Yeah, Fastway opened up. Oh yeah, so our Prince cover band. Sounds more like a tribute band if they looked and sounded like Prince. Yeah. Oh, the Palladium in L.A. Different Palladium. Yeah, Vegas charges like $20 a night for parking. Yeah, man, I'm sure. We haven't seen too many good houses this week. We saw a couple of weird ones. Nothing that good. Nothing like Buffington Hill Road in Worthington. What an address. Yeah, $16 drinks. I know, it's crazy. The craziest is when you get the little cup of beer, you know, at the ballpark. It's like $8. It's like, you cannot be serious, dude. Scorpions, Mr. Big, Metallica, late 80s, early 90s at the LA, at the Forum for $35, $49 each. That's pretty good. I think you mean $100. Though when I went to the last Steel Panther show, I bought the tickets from Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster was under a bunch of scrutiny as a, monopoly, which they pretty much are. And the Steel Panther tickets were $20 and a $5 service fee. These are part of their new affordable ticket initiative. The second the heat came off them, that shit went right away. They're like, yeah, right. We just had to get through some rough times here after the whole Taylor Swift debacle. Yeah. There used to be Ticketmaster and Ticketron. At least there was some competition. But even the other big one was Live Nation. But Live Nation was just bought by Ticketmaster. Or vice versa. I think Ticketmaster bought Live Nation. But Live Nation was that guy. Oh, God. What was his name? Don Law. Well, I don't even... Is he still alive? That dude's been around forever. Nearly $60 for Ozfest. Yeah. I mean, I could understand, like, I think for Steel Wheels, and they were really good seats, we paid like $50 a ticket, which at the time was like a lot of money for I think the face value was probably 35 or 40. And he wanted like 50, 55. I was like, sure. And I had to provide a vehicle, which I did. But I wanted to see the show. Yeah, geez, 5-minute warning. Tonight went by pretty quickly. Yeah, steel wheelchairs. I tell you, they were on fire on that tour. We had really good seats. They were, I remember 89 was a long friggin' time ago. It was 36 years ago. Yeah, they were much more spry, I assure you. They were good. They were good on that tour. They still had the, I saw them with the original lineup, right? Because they still had the original bass player. He hadn't retired yet. And then the next time I saw them, he was gone, and they brought in that guy. I can't even think of his name. He's been with them forever now. But no, that was a good tour. That was a good show. We had like such perfect seats. It was like there were such good seats for that show. Yeah, Living Color was the opener. And they had a hit on the radio at that particular time with I think it might have been Type, right? Was their latest hit, right? Because I think Cult of Personality had already sort of was like a year earlier or 2 years earlier. I could be wrong on that, but I could have sworn it was Type. No, not Nathan East. I don't think so. No, I can't think of his name. He's been with them, though, since literally the 92 tour. Yeah, Cult of Personality. They definitely did that. That was the big closer. No, they had a couple of hits. It wasn't just that one. They had a few songs that hit. Cult of Personality was by far their biggest hit, but they had a couple. It wasn't just that. Maybe it depends on where you live. But around here, no, I remember more than one. Yeah. Hold on here. Bill Wyman. So Wyman was the guy that left. And this guy doesn't have he's not a member of the band, but probably, so 03. Steel Wheels tour. All right, Steel Wheels. Blah, blah, blah. Daryl Jones. Daryl Jones. Yeah, now you're writing Daryl Jones. Yeah. Daryl Jones. Daryl Jones on bass, who's a killer bass player. I mean, Daryl Jones is freaking amazing. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. Have a great week, everyone. Time to wrap it up. I gotta go check the scene of the crime. I'll see you guys all in a week. Check out Monday's video. Very different. Very, very different from this guitar here. Apples and fish. Check that out on Monday. We'll do it all again next week. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. Super extra special thanks to anyone who contributed. And, of course, Brofish to my Mod Squad hashtag. Brofish hashtag Mod Squad. We'll do it all again next week. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you in a week. And there you go. You guys have a great week. All right. I'm off. Later.